They've seen too much, too soon. They've felt too deeply, too early. And that changes you. It bends time inside your body. You start noticing things other people your age don't. The tone of someone's voice, the tension behind their smile, the sadness people tried to hide behind humor. You read rooms the way others read books. And while everyone else laughs easily, you're already wondering what's really going on underneath. It's not cynicism, it's familiarity. Because you've been there before, inside the silence, behind someone's eyes. People who feel older than their age often grew up learning responsibility before they learned rest. They became the strong one too early, the peacekeeper, the caretaker, the one who understands. While others their age were figuring out who they wanted to be, they were figuring out how to survive. Psychologists call this parentification, when a child learns to take care of others emotionally or even physically before their own needs are met. It rewires you. You start equating worth with usefulness. You start believing that being loved means being needed. So even as an adult, you find yourself in patterns, attracting people who depend on you, always offering comfort, rarely asking for it. You become everyone's safe space, but no one's soft place to land. And because of that, you age inwardly, not in years, in awareness. You start seeing how fragile people really are. You become the one who anticipates, who adapts, who absorbs, the one who smooths over tension before it becomes conflict. You call it intuition, but really, it's survival. You learned early that calm isn't something you find, it's something you create. Philosopher Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." And that's what these people know intimately, the pain of waking up to life before they were ready to live it. They learnt that not all parents are protectors, that not all love feels safe, that sometimes the people you depend on are the very ones who make you grow up faster. That kind of awakening hardens something inside you and softens something else. It makes you both old and tender at once. When you feel older than your age, it's not because you've lived more, it's because you've felt more. You've known loss before you knew permanence. You've seen endings before you could believe in beginnings. You've carried the weight of silence, the ache of pretending, the loneliness of being the one who gets it. While others were laughing in classrooms, you were learning emotional math, how to measure moods, how to divide yourself, how to add stability to chaos. You weren't supposed to be the adult, but no one else was. And now, even years later, that early aging doesn't just go away. It follows you quietly, in the way you flinch when someone raises their voice, in the way you overthink before you speak, in the way you apologize too quickly for existing. You've spent your whole life trying not to be a burden, because once upon a time you believed you were one. That belief lingers even in success. You become hyper-independent. You don't rely on anyone. You say, "I'm fine," even when you're breaking, because somewhere deep down, you think needing help makes you weak, and weakness feels like danger. Psychologist Gabor Mate says that trauma isn't the event itself. It's what happens inside you as a result of it. And inside people who feel older than their age, there's this quiet war between what they show and what they feel. On the outside, they seem wise, grounded, emotionally stable, but on the inside,
They're tired. Not the kind of tired sleep fixes, the kind that comes from always holding space, from always being the mature one. They don't know what it's like to be taken care of, so they make care their love language. They nurture, they listen, they give endlessly. But at night, they wonder if anyone will ever hold them the way they hold others. Philosopher Alain de Botton once wrote, "Those who seem wise early are often just those who suffered early." And that's the heartbreaking truth behind this kind of maturity. It's not a gift, it's a scar that learned to look graceful. These people often crave lightness, but they don't know how to access it. They look at their peers dancing through life, making mistakes freely, laughing loudly, and something inside them aches. They wish they could be that careless, that unguarded, that young. But their nervous system doesn't know how. Their bodies have been trained to stay alert, even in safety. That's why peace often feels uncomfortable. It's foreign. It's quiet in a way that feels suspicious. If you talk to them long enough, you'll notice they have this reflective sadness about them, a kind of gentle melancholy. They talk about life like someone twice their age. They speak in lessons, not complaints. They laugh softly, like they've seen how quickly laughter disappears. They don't rush through conversations. They pause. They think. They feel everything. And yet, underneath all that depth, there's a loneliness few people ever see. Because it's hard to find someone who truly understands a life that began in survival mode. Psychologically, people who feel older than their age often show signs of what's called chronic hypervigilance, a nervous system that's always scanning for danger, even when nothing is wrong. They've lived so long in emotional alertness that relaxation feels unnatural. Joy feels temporary, and love feels fragile. So they learn to love carefully, to plan for disappointment, to protect themselves from hope. They don't mean to be guarded. They're just tired of rebuilding after everything falls apart. But here's the beautiful contradiction. Those same people, the ones who carry the oldest souls, are also the most capable of deep, genuine connection. Because they see you. They notice things others miss. They sense your sadness before you name it. They love quietly, patiently, truthfully, because they know how precious it is to be understood without having to explain yourself. Their depth isn't heaviness, it's empathy. It's the ability to sit in silence with someone's pain without needing to fix it. But they still need something too. Someone who reminds them that they are allowed to be young, that they are allowed to rest, to laugh too loud, to be a little selfish, a little messy, a little human. Because underneath the old soul is a heart that never got to be a child. They need to hear, you don't have to be the strong one anymore. You don't have to hold it all. You can be loved even when you're not holding everything together. That's what healing looks like. When they finally let someone see the parts of them that have been holding their breath for years. As they begin to heal, something changes slowly. They start to reclaim moments they missed. They start laughing without analyzing. They start saying, I need help, without shame. They start trusting that peace isn't the calm before chaos. It's what happens after you stop expecting chaos to return. Healing doesn't make them younger. It just lets them feel their actual age for once. And that is a miracle in itself. If you've ever felt older than your age, I want you to know this. You are not broken. You are not strange. You are simply someone who met life early and survived it with grace. You've carried too much, too long, but that's not your whole story. There's still time to unlearn the heaviness, to let softness back in, to remember that growing up early doesn't mean you have to stay old forever. You deserve to feel light again, to laugh until your stomach hurts, to wake up and not feel the weight of yesterday on your chest, to live, not just endure. Because the truth is, you don't have an old soul, you have a tired one. And even tired souls can rest. Even tired souls can heal. Even tired souls can feel young again.